Alrighty, another Daily Kingdom. All prosperity looks like, which naturally means colony and platinum. What's going on here? We got draw with rabble, eventually city as well. City is the village, as is King's Court. Plenty of thinning. There's investment, forge, crystal ball, mint, kind of bishop, but not really. Gains look like a big limitation. Forge can gain stuff. Mint can gain treasures, but the only plus buy is maybe city. I think that works here. In general, if you're planning on city being activated for your engine to work, that's usually a bad sign. Like if city's the only draw or the only buy. Because if you're stuck buying cities one by one until the pile empties and then things turn online, that just takes forever versus an opponent who skips that and plays like rudimentary big money or something. And then your deck just starts working way too late. But here, one thing that sticks out to me that I think makes City look pretty viable is Charlatan. You play with a Charlatan or two, you're giving it curses. Eventually the curse pile empties, and that just activates cities naturally. So that makes cities, I think, much easier to play with. So I think definitely building here. But it does look a little bit awkward until cities activate. And then, of course, what happens is like cities activate, and then all of a sudden you have this deck that has tons of plus buy, and the game ends like the next turn, is what may occur here. The other thing that looks incredibly awkward about this kingdom now that I'm looking at it is there's just nothing important that doesn't cost 5. Like you open with an investment early to get thin, but like you don't need a bunch of those, I don't think. Like one investment to kill the estates, and then ideally you could trash a bunch of coppers with mint. But aside from that, it's just like hit 5 a bunch by cities and rabbles, eventually 7 for King's Court. I would kill for anything generated coffers here, for example. Just something that reliably gets you to 5 and turns those $4 hands into 5 would be lovely. Like many prosperity heavy kingdoms, I think it's just going to be very slow to get going because all the good stuff is expensive. Going to open with the thing that trashes things and then a silver. 3 is not so bad because it portends 5 on the next turn. Yep. What's the first 5? Charlotte and Shirley. Want to give out the curses so that the cities do things later. Second 5 less clear. I don't know if I need 2 charlatans. If I want to give it more curses, I can add a King's Court and use that on the charlatans. So probably now it's time to click rabbles and cities, I think, for the most part. Start with a rabble. I think a rabble in hand is much more likely to get you to 5 than a city in hand. And again, hitting 5 is of the most importance here. Now I got 2 terminals. Probably city over a third one. Is this King's Court already? Probably. I think I've got enough actions to justify King's Court. How's the bot doing? Oh, we can't tell. I'll never get used to not having a log. Anyways, both have 1 rabble. Looks like the bots hit 5 once, and I've hit 5 3 times. So I'm just given this kingdom, I think that's a pretty good proxy for who's in the lead. That was kind of a friendly rabble. All the good stuff that was in my hand just gets me closer to the Charlotte and the King's Court. Uh-oh. Well, this is not as good. There's a King's Court down there that's going to be very lonely. This could be a mint. Let me reconsider. If it is a mint, I should just go ahead and take the points here because the investment would die anyway. Maybe I'm thinking too long term. I'm just imagining like mint is a gainer here. You combine it with forge and you can actually gain useful stuff. Like if you pick up a crystal ball and mint the crystal ball, you could forge that into 5s, and that'd be a good way to win the city split. Maybe that's getting too fancy and I should just click like King's Court. Trash 4 copper does sound kind of nice though. What am I buying otherwise? Just like another city probably. I'm gonna do it. I'm not sure if this is right. This is actually a really fortunate draw. Bottom deck in the King's Court. It's not something I'll complain about in this particular circumstance. bot's taking a bishop. Okay. King's Court? I have 2 King's Courts, right? I'm pretty sure these bottom 2 cards are both King's Courts. Well, sometimes that's just how things go. That kind of makes me want to add another Rabble, just because King's Court, Rabble would be a beautiful starting hand. Curses could empty, like, next turn, if you hit Charlatan King's Court. Where's it going now? Kind of want to forge, given that I got a mint. Do I want the forge now? Do I want to gain a free silver? No? Silver, like 3 silvers could get me to a platinum off of forge. I don't think I care about having platinum that much. I'm not really sure what I'm doing here. I'm being totally frank. The forge is a little bit greedy. Like if I find Rabble in my starting hand next turn, everything is lovely. But if I don't add something, what's my deck accomplish? Like supposing I add another Rabble, I guarantee I find, or I don't guarantee it, I increase the odds I find 2 King's Courts and a Rabble. But then like what does my deck do once I draw it? Give that a bunch of curses, I guess. That doesn't seem like enough. This is a little bit risky because like because this could happen. If this were Rabble, I'd be a much happier camper. So we took a gamble. It did not pay off. Yeah, this is a little bit sad. I'm gonna buy an estate. I have a bunch of 3-cost cards. I want 5-cost cards. I need a 2-cost card. That's some advanced addition for you. King's Court off the top? Nope, no such luck. King's Court? Okay, well. I guess we have to do that. Still don't think I want more treasures at this exact moment. Let's add another city. I guess it doesn't matter. If I want the copper to die, it can die to the forge. Probably the copper's gonna die. But on my terms. Okay. I have no use for the Charlatan anymore. So maybe the King's Court Forge, Silver Estate into a 5, Charlatan into a 5. One of those can probably be a Crystal Ball. And then the third Forge is not doing a whole heck of a lot. That's fine. The other option would be I could do just Forge once for the moment, and then I could triple mint a bunch of Crystal Balls, and then I could King's Court the Forge. That sounds a little bit better, I think. Do I even want to draw those? Yes, it's fine. I didn't exactly want to top deck a treasure, but Crystal Ball on top decks the treasure. Problem solved. Alright, I got 9. What do I need next? Bishop, probably? Do I need a... Well, for the moment, I was going to say I gain treasures and bishop then. That's points until the city pile runs. But I don't actually have treasures that I want a bishop. The Crystal Balls are going to become 5-cost cards. Can I win next turn? What if I buy a city now, and then next turn I manage to line up King's Court Forge, gain 3 cities, empty the pile? How likely am I to be able to play a bunch of those? I could see that leading to an investment pile out. I think this threatens a win with a good draw. A good draw would probably involve some King's Courts in the starting hand. bot scored a bunch of points, which make the pile out harder. Taking a king's court. Fortunately, I'm likely to draw a king's court here. Yeah. Do I have... I don't have the one rabble. I discarded Forge City Silver. Ideally, you really want to line up King's Court with King's Court, because King's Court on King's Court gets you 3 total KC plays, whereas doing like King's Court Rabble followed by another King's Court gets you 2 total. I've got a King's Court down there in this bottom 5, and some number of cities. I think the odds that I whiff are high enough to not be worth the gamble. If I knew I was going to draw a King's Court in a city, I'd probably just play the Rabble and then do King's Court City. Alright, so does this win? King's Court Forge, gain 3 cities. Then I can play 5 cities. And I would have 6 buys, which is plenty. I would need how much money? 28? I don't think I have 28 money. The cities would make 5. The charlatan brings that to 8. I could mint a silver 10. I only have 1 crystal ball left. So probably, I don't even think I had the investment pile out, did I? Maybe this is less of a threat than I thought it was. Well, I'm the only one with a forge, so I can at least lower this pile a bit, I think. I don't want to empty it. I have 1, 2, 3, 4 cities, so the bot has 3 cities. I wouldn't want to turn on the cities. What did I just do? Oh, I hit decline before hitting crystal ball. The bot has no way to mid-turn gain a city, not that I can see. So I can afford to do that. And leave us right on the precipice of plus buy. And then this third crystal ball maybe is just a what? A 4-cost card, a platinum would look pretty good right about now. Get a platinum minted by a bishop. If I had a 1-cost card, I would turn it into like a hoarder of gold for the same reason. Forge math is tricky. Not seeing this crystal ball doing a whole heck of a lot. Probably just another rabble then, I guess. Not sure that rabble attack can conceivably matter when the bot has, I believe, no victory cards in its deck. In fact, the bot does have 1 curse. You can tell because that has 1 less point than its 7 victory points. But curse isn't the scheme number treasures, so the rabble attack doesn't even top deck the curses. Good, okay, 8 money. Probably bishop. I think. It's not bishop. I mean, it could just be King's Court, right? I can make money King's Courting Charlatan. That sounds better. So the bot is very thin, right? There are 6 cards left in its hand, nothing in the deck or discard. Intriguing. Got some sort of bishop golden deck over here. It's not a whole lot of money though. Alrighty. Again, a dilemma. I really would like to have a second King's Court in hand before I play the first one. But I'd also like to forge something into a city before I play additional cities. I think it's worth drawing one because I also run the risk of finding a crystal ball, which is what I'd rather kill with Forge. Rabble? Alright. We got all of our goals. Do I want to forge 3 things or just one thing? Probably just the one, right? Is that so? Maybe that's not so. King's Court Forge can turn the mint into another charlatan, can turn the crystal ball into a city, and then okay, the third forge play isn't doing a whole heck of a lot. Just forge once. I'm just going to do the single forge. I'm not sure what's optimal. I kind of expect I'm going to win either way. I'm open to being proven wrong. Actually, I'd really rather that not be the case. Alright, what's the easiest win? Probably just estates, looks like. Would the investment pilot also win? No. Oh, it wouldn't have quite enough money for that. But 7 estates costs 14, and then you could buy colony. I think this might be the only pilot available. Is that how I expected the King run to go? I guess I expected it to go a little bit longer, maybe involve a bishop, minting treasures and stuff, and then bishoping them. Which is probably what would happen if the bot had more points, and I needed to play catch up rather than going for the immediate pile out. So maybe if the bot has better... I remember the bot being a little bit behind on hitting 5 early, if I recall correctly. So probably if the bot stack gets together quicker and it gets a points lead, then the mint treasures, bishop treasures becomes the way that you play catch up. I think versus... I mean, the bot's kind of sort of building something here. It's got a little bit of draw on actions. Versus another deck that is building an engine. I do think the game is basically going to come down to whoever has a forge and can activate city on their turn piles out. Just that ability to forge something into city, empty the second pile, and then be the first one to get plus buy is huge. Because like normally what would happen is like if there's one city left, if neither of you has a forge in your deck, you can't buy the last city because then your opponent gets to be the first one to take a turn with plus buy, and then they're probably emptying a stage or something on you. So if you get a mid-turn gain on like forge, you line that up with any 5-cost card, you empty the cities, you take advantage of the plus buy, and then you win. I think it's a pretty common theme of a lot of city games, and that occurred here.